Hello and welcome to Press Reset, the Poogles Games podcast, where we talk about all the latest in gaming news, our reviews and impressions of video games, and just what we've been playing. Just a casual conversation about just whatever's going on in video games. I'm your host, Happy. I think that's what I'm going with. I think we discovered that last week.
Mhm.
But I am, of course, here with my co host, my JRPG correspondent, the Yellow Arrow. Casey,
What is up? I am glad to be back.
how's it going?
How's it going? I'm doing good. How have you been?
I've been doing all right. Now, Casey, we have a couple news, and
Mhm.
I don't want to really hype up these news because honestly, it's been a really fucking depressing week for news.
Yeah.
These news that we have for this week are kind of just terrible. But
Yeah.
before we get to them, we first have to address something.
Oh, no, no.
Happy birthday! It was your birthday.
Oh yeah, it was yesterday, yeah.
Oh no, what
Thank
happened to
you.
us? Yeah, I think you
Mhm.
turned 15 yesterday, is that right?
Oh my god. I have turned 20. I have I feel the same. There is one little thing that I kind of request from you though.
Oh god. Here we go.
It's think of it as like a birthday gift, okay?
Okay.
To my understanding, we talked about this before. You said One Piece was awful. You said it was just like
I didn't
Pirates of the
know.
Caribbean. You said it was
Okay, well, well, they're both pirates things. Come on.
well, come on. So just give One Piece a shot.
See the major difference between the two is that you can watch all Pirates of the Caribbean in less than 15 hours probably. There's like 5 movies, but if you just want to watch the real ones of the first 3, less than 10 hours. How long is One Piece?
It's only like 1,000, like 500 episodes.
Enough said.
But it's like, you know what? I won't get too much into it, but you're missing out. It's better than Pirates of the Caribbean.
I doubt that.
Also, real quick, can I see your mug again?
Um, what are you talking about?
The mug you just drank out of?
What do you mean?
For people who are watching audio only, it in fact says Stardew Valley Slut on it. Where did you buy that?
I think I found it on Etsy or something.
Mhm, mhm. You
Yeah,
you
what's the
play Stardew
problem?
Valley stuff?
What?
Yeah, I totally forgot you play Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I mean, Stardew Valley is a top 5 video game, if not 2 or 3. I don't think it's number 1, but it's the game that I was literally playing it today. I had to sit upstairs and I was just it's the perfect game on the Switch. It's literally just take it wherever you want. You play in bite sizes and it's cozy, but there's so much to do. It's the perfect game. It's and made by
I did
one man. Eric Barron, if you're
that's
watching, would love to have you on the show. That's my goal.
honestly, yeah, it's so impressive. Just one guy is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the music and everything. Oh
Oh
my
my god,
god. I
yeah.
mean, the fact that yeah, the art style, the coding, the music, the fact,
Mhm,
one guy doing that, he's the opposite of jack of all trades, whatever that term is. It's incredible how he was able
mhm.
to just not only finance, well, maybe he because he had Chucklefish along his side, but to
Yeah.
dedicate that amount of time to a game like that, I mean,
Mhm.
it's incredible. Have you played that game?
I so I have it on PC and PlayStation, and I have a good time whenever I play it, but I don't like go for it. I think I got to get on my Switch.
Dude,
I
I mean,
think that'll probably be the best way.
there's no better game than that to
Mhm,
incorporate cross progression. Because if I had it on my Steam and
mhm.
then had it on my Steam or well, I would of course have it on my Steam Deck, but also my Switch or my PlayStation. Oh my god, taking that thing everywhere, I would be in year 20 already. That game, I I've I think that game actually might be the game I've invested the most time into on my Switch.
Really?
It's probably that or Mario Kart, which we'll save that conversation for next week
Yeah.
because Mario Kart, honestly, like I know everyone's hyped for the new Switch and the new Mario Kart that comes with it, but I am genuinely a huge Mario Kart fan. So this launch means everything to me because
Mhm.
I've been looking forward to a new Mario Kart for 10 years now because I have a Wii U. I have a
I was
Wii
gonna
U.
say,
I
yeah.
played Mario Kart 8 and
Mhm.
it only got better with the Switch, but I think we were at the point where
Yeah,
we
we're
really,
in due
really
for more.
wanted something new. But I was also scared at the same time because that game is so perfect. I'll say it. It's so perfect that I don't know what they could have done to
I
really elevate it
I
aside
do
from doing the Smash Bros route of just being like, you know what? This isn't
yeah.
Mario Kart anymore. This is Super Kart Bros, whatever you
Mhm.
would want to call it. I'm sure they would probably come up with a better name, but that they introduced Link and Animal Crossing and the Inklings, and then like some Metroid stuff. I mean, that that's the best thing that I could have thought of, but never in my mind did I think that they were going to do like an open world thing.
The thing I'm scared of, and I might even save it more for next time, but I notoriously do not like any of the Mario Karts.
Well, thank you for watching. Press reset. This has been another episode where we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, apparently.
Oh, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Mario Kart is the most fun game of all time. There's nothing that you need going into that game to to bring any skill or whatnot. It's literally just
It's
pure adrenaline,
but
euphoria.
I
It's
don't
just
like racing games though. That's just it.
I get that. I don't like racing games, but
Mhm.
Mario Kart, it's a kart racer. Kart racers are like the it's like strapping on training wheels onto a bike. It's just
Mhm.
it's so freeing knowing that you're just so safe in this little kart game.
Mhm.
And what more can you ask for?
That's I mean, I got hype looking at the new trailer though. I think this one definitely looks more up my speed. I could never get into Mario Kart for some reason.
Okay. Well, okay. I do forget that you just did turn 15 yesterday, so it does make sense that
You've got to be
your
kidding
first
me.
Mario Kart was probably a Wii, and you're probably like 4-year-old self, just like with the Wii remote using the motion controls.
Oh,
I can't do it.
that was my first Mario Kart game, so I'll give you that one.
Wii,
But
right?
still,
Right?
yeah, it was.
I knew it.
Listen,
How was
sorry,
it?
I only play good games. What happened?
Would you? Okay, you really want to go that route?
No, no, I don't.
Mario Kart, I'm pretty sure, is the best-selling game on the Switch, in which you are so excited for coming out in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
What else you gotta say about that?
You know what? I guess we'll just have to see. We're just gonna have to leave the Mario Kart conversations for next time because if I'm right, the next podcast, the
You're
one
right.
after that, would be after the Switch, right?
So next week should be the week before. So I think
Right.
that our conversation then would be what we expect for, or yeah, what we expect with our experience on day one, or like how
Mhm.
we're going to be playing and using the Switch 2, the day of and the week of, and then the Switch would be, or that next week would be our Switch review. And
Right.
well, actually, I don't know, because the week after. would be us having the Switch. So we're only going to be having it for a couple of hours before we record that day.
So it
So
would really be
it's
initials.
really off the dome. So that will be interesting. But then the week
Yeah.
after that, I think we can definitely hone in our experiences and have a
Mhm.
better stand on what we've been playing and what we've been doing with that Switch. Damn, that's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be a fun couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But
I
Casey,
was gonna. Mhm.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say how excited I am for the Switch 2, and even though there's like a very few launch games, I think it's still gonna be a fun launch.
This guy, you're excited for it, but
Mhm.
you don't like Mario Kart.
Listen, I'm a big consumer. What can I say?
Fair enough. He just you just want to get in. You just want to get in front of the Miyamati or Mia shit the from software game. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but I you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be really let down
Really?
by just by the Switch or the Switch 2. You know, I'm gonna be like, I feel like I'm gonna unbox this thing. I'm gonna be like, damn, looks like the Switch one.
Yeah, but I
But
don't know
damn,
because the
but then
Switch
yo,
one is.
yeah, it's great. I love the Switch, especially after playing the Steam Deck. It's fun being
Mhm.
like, because like once I got the Steam Deck, it was like, this is great.
Mhm.
Especially when I started emulating it, allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly, I was like, oh yeah, this is so great. Like, God damn, is this thing big in my hands?
Mhm.
Plus, I don't have the OLED
Mhm.
Steam Deck because that came out, I think, after I bought my Steam Deck, and I do have the Switch OLED.
Yeah,
So
same here.
it's just such a treat that if there's even an ounce of me that wants to go back to my Switch, I'm like, oh damn, this is so nice. And
Mhm.
with the Stardew Valley, I started when I played Stardew for the first time. It was on my original Switch, and I can tell you the day. It was October 27th, 2017. That was the day. I skipped school, or no, I think it was fall break for us because it was the same. It was, I'm pretty sure it was a Thursday,
Mhm.
and it was the same day that season 2 of Stranger Things came out. And I think it was the same day that Super Mario Odyssey came out.
Oh.
So I was literally just like the cliche, just potato chips, watching Stranger Things, playing Stardew, and Odyssey. It was probably the
Mhm.
greatest day of my life, if we're being honest.
It sounds like it. That God, Odyssey was such a good game. That's probably the best Mario game of all time.
Okay, let's relax. You're 15. You're gonna
Oh
probably
my.
say that you're. Is that the only one? Because did you play Galaxy? Were you old enough to play Galaxy?
Wow. Yes, I have
Because the
Galaxy.
only other
No, I didn't
3D
finish
Mario
it.
game before that was World and Land. And did you have a 3DS?
I did have a 3DS.
Oh, really? Did you play Land?
Mm, No,
Exactly. Did you have a Wii U?
I did have a Wii U.
And did you
I had
play
two
World?
because the first one broke.
D-
Did I play World now?
what part of your Wii U broke?
No, I got it, opened it, and then it was broke. So we had to go back the next day and they gave us a new one. It was like actually faulty.
D- Was it like refurbished? Refurbished? I can't say that
I
word.
I just remember it was such a long time ago. I got it at Best Buy, opened it, and it just didn't work.
That sucks.
Hmm. But yeah,
But you played
I
World.
have no. I also have the Galaxies, but I never finished them. I couldn't get into it.
could never get into it. So your touchstone, well, let's set this straight, right? So Odyssey is your favorite 3D Mario, but your touchstone with 3D Mario is land. Wow,
I am nodding. Yes.
quite the competition.
That's why I'm hoping for Odyssey too.
Well, you're not getting it anytime soon because we got Donkey Kong going on his digging adventure pretty soon.
I know. I'm so I'm still gonna get it. I'm still gonna get it.
What? No, what are you gonna say?
I just can never get into the Donkey Kong games. No, no, no. Here, okay, wait, wait. You know what the best Donkey Kong and Mario game is?
Are you
Do you?
combining them?
Yes, because I think Donkey Kong was in it. Do you remember the game? I think it was on the 3DS
It's gonna say
where
red.
you had to turn the Marios like they were little toys.
Yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong. Yeah,
Was that what it was?
yeah. You know what? Honestly, I a lot of people don't like that game, but I've played that game and I really liked it. I was
Right?
really
Yeah.
young
Okay. Yeah.
on the on the DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that game. Honestly, this is like a
Mhm.
fun puzzle game. It had
It
cool
was. It was
music
fun.
too, if I remember right. It
Yeah. It
was
did. It did.
yeah.
I played that all the time. Yeah, I have good opinions.
Casey, you let's be honest. You just dissed Mario Kart. That's one. And then you said I haven't played a lot of 3D Mario games.
Mhm.
You're not making a great case as to why you're on this podcast right now.
Listen, but I like a lot of other games. We just happen to coincidentally hit the ones that I.
All right. All right. So what? PlayStation?
Yeah, I'm more of a PlayStation guy.
Okay. You know what? Dude, we're talking too much about Nintendo. We need to be talking about PlayStation, specifically Bungie.
Oh yeah.
Bungie, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, has Bungie
Very.
have been going through it? I have an article from Games Radar. Morale at Bungie reportedly at an all-time low as the iconic first-person shooter dev investigates stolen assets in Marathon. Quote, the vibes have never been worse. Oh boy.
Dude, they've just been hitting like L after L. They
It's
have not won at all.
and it's really sad because like what they shown off that first reveal that they did for I don't even know I think they just put it out there, but that first reveal that they did, it looked good. And
Yeah.
but the response to that was so surprisingly harsh.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that no one is giving this game a chance. And that was before
Mhm.
everything started just going to shit for Bungie
Yeah.
internally.
I
Another
was gonna say because I thought the game looked good. And I was
yeah,
surprised when people were
I
just
was like,
not liking it.
as someone that's a really like techie cyberpunky like fan, watching this
Mhm.
is like I was like, yeah, this does it for me. I'm like, this is really
Yeah.
fun. I really like the art style, especially in games nowadays. And this is gonna be really niche, but like graphics in games, I mean, I've said this to like my other friends that when we're playing these games, they're like games like Battlefield nowadays, the graphics get so good that it almost gets harder to find or see other enemies. Like graphics are so goddamn good
Yeah.
nowadays that it's
Mhm.
like they're hiding just around a corner, but the shadows and the DLSS
Yeah,
is
it's
just keeping them
crazy.
covered. And it's like, fuck, man. I mean, I've been playing video games since the early 2000s. This sucks. But this game, it has a certain art style that doesn't feel like anything else besides maybe like the finals. You know, it's
Yeah.
very bright.
Mhm.
It's very cyberpunky, and I know a lot of people are gonna look at this and be like, "Yeah, this looks like so many other things," but I think it's doing something even on the UI level that makes it stand out in a different way.
Mhm.
But everyone looks at this and thinks like even right there, right that second, it looked like Tarkov or
Yeah.
um PUBG. What's the other extraction? Whatever.
Uh,
Not
yeah.
PUBG. I know that
No, I
that's
I
not
only know
extraction.
Tarkov when it's distraction.
I was just looking at the UI. But yeah,
Mhm.
this game, from the moment it was revealed, it was already off to a rough start. And
Mhm.
I have no idea why. It looks good. But then they dig themselves
Yeah.
more and more and more. They keep on shooting themselves in the foot more and more again. And let me just keep on reading
Yeah.
this Games Radar article. Morale at developer Bungie, the iconic first-person shooter studio behind Destiny and the original Halo games, is reportedly at an all-time low. No shit. I added that. With some employees unsure about whether their upcoming marathon reboot can meet its September release date. I'm gonna
Ooh,
say no,
probably
but
not. It's like
we'll talk about that later.
Mhm.
In case the scandal hasn't reached you yet, earlier this week, futuristic indie artist Fern Anariel Hook, sorry if I butchered
Anti-hero?
that, Anariel, accused the studio of using her 2017 art profile portfolio as inspiration for Marathon without permission or payment. She also posted side by side screenshots of her own artwork next to Marathon's alpha test, with very similar iconography, patterns, fonts, and sometimes even words appearing in both. Yeah. So if you guys
Mhm.
haven't heard, there was an artist, Fern Hook. I'm just gonna go with that. Sorry. I know you have a gamer tag, whatever Annie is, but we're going with Fern Hook.
Mhm.
Fern Hook had some artwork from 2017 that is very, very eerily similar to the artwork. I can't even say eerily. No, it's ripped. It's ripped. They
Mhm.
Marathon ripped her artwork. Bungie ripped her artwork, and this game got some slack. And you know what? For this conversation, I don't really want to get into the logistics of it all because I can't. I don't think I'm at the position that I can properly say whether or not what is right or what is wrong. I'll say this is wrong. I just don't
Yeah.
know where it gets murky at that level, and
Mhm.
and I can't report on that part of the game and everything that's going on, but we can all as just people that want to support creators understand that that was a huge blow.
Yeah.
Everyone at Bungie was like, great. And apparently, this is the story though. And you know what? I want to be the game journalist that I want to be cynical. You know, I want to be cynical. I want to be a cynical games journalist. And I'll say that when they came out and said that they had fired the artist that was responsible for this for the assets that they stole off of Fern Hook, that they were already fired, I want to say bullshit.
Mhm.
I think they knew what they were doing. And it's the same thing with and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's the same thing with IGN in with Dead Cells, where the guy that was reviewing, I think his name was Philip, he reviewed Dead Cells for IGN and he got caught, blatantly caught, for plagiarizing the some other guy that was reviewing the Dead Cells on his own YouTube
Oh
channel,
wow.
and it was a huge thing, and that guy got fired instantly. I mean, it's a huge blow for any company just plagiarizing. I mean, and it's not even plagiarizing. Like in this case, they are blatantly taking assets from this independent, this unrelated person, Fern Hook. Plug again, Fern Hook.
Mhm.
They're blatantly taking her artwork from something completely unrelated and just using it as their identity for this game. We're talking about Bungie, Halo, and Destiny. What the hell is going on over there?
It's crazy. It's so blatant, and I just can't believe they did this. It's like
It's hard to blame it on like Bungie as a whole, but
right.
when you read it, it's like Bungie's like, I don't know. Yeah, this was an ex-employee, and that seems a little too convenient, you know.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, this game can't catch a vibe. And then there was something else that wasn't there something else that just came out recently about them talking about. It wasn't just this. It was just everything about this game is just so depressing because it like
It has like potential, but then it's just digging its own grave.
it's so sad to see games like this because this
Mhm.
game, aside from everything that everyone is already shitting on and the problems that they're having internally, it's a game that is a games as a service.
Mhm.
And that in modern day is incredibly hard to capture an audience for and sustain it throughout.
Mhm.
Especially hard when you're going to be charging people for this game. And I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to have Xbox on this. I think it is coming to PC, but you're not going to
Yeah,
have
I think it's just
Xbox on this.
PlayStation PC.
That is just unfortunate. And
Mhm.
I,
The
I
game's
just
gonna be doomed to fail. It's
I want to be optimistic because Bungie notoriously is fantastic with first person shooters. And if you played Destiny 2, you know that the first person shooter mechanics, just the raw
Mhm.
mechanics, shooting, aiming, moving while aiming,
Yeah, the whole
shooting
gunplay.
while doing all of that feels so good. And for them
Mhm.
to take that knowledge and implement it in this game seems like a sure hit. Especially, I mean, I can't even say especially because of the marathon, because the marathon IP is no one knows about it. Do you know about this
About no.
marathon? Yeah, you know that this isn't a Bungie thing. Marathon
Wait,
is
really?
Marathon was a game before. Yeah.
Wait, was it really?
All
I
right.
thought I thought this was a brand
Strike
new thing. Wait, this
three.
this is a revelation for me. Hold up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is like a reboot.
Mhm. Damn, I actually did not know that. Well, okay, that's even more depressing. That's the way it's going now.
Yeah, especially because it's like I think what they wanted to do originally, or when they're thinking about doing like a live service project, was how do we bring an existing project nowadays and turn it into a games as a service, which is like the
Mhm.
most disgusting sentence that I've ever spat out my mouth. I mean,
Yeah.
like, how do we turn this old thing into something that just generates us more and more and more money? And PlayStation, I don't know how they're not overseeing this more, considering that this Bungie is now a PlayStation studio.
Mhm.
How are they not overseeing this more? And why is Bungie speaking for themselves? Why is
Yeah, like
PlayStation not
what the
stepping in and being like, "Hey, yo, yeah, there were some missteps along the way." No, it's like Bungie being like, We're getting articles like I just read from Games Radar. Morale is at an all-time low. Why does an
Mhm.
article like that happen if PlayStation's not there? And if PlayStation's not there, then does are we to believe that PlayStation has confidence in this game at all? There's just so many like
Mhm.
weird threads that you can tug on that make the game feel like it has everything going against it and that no one is confident in this game, especially after all this debacle. It's so rough because this game looks like fun,
Yeah,
and they've
it
probably
legit
been
does.
working on it for a while. And the other thing we have to consider is that there's so many developers from art to programmers, everything that have been working on this game for probably a long time,
Mhm.
and nothing's coming out of it, and that sucks.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but how many extraction shooters are actually like on PlayStation? Most of them are on
Not a
PC,
lot,
right?
yeah,
Right.
right? But the conversation doesn't. The conversation between PC and play and console really kind of doesn't. It goes like back and forth, you know,
Mhm.
like if people are talking about a game on PC, whether or not it's on console or whatnot, the console players understand where that conversation is coming from. So like either way, you got, and I think this is going to be a PC game. I think it's going to be PC PS5. So you
Mhm.
got the PC players talking about one thing, and the console players talk about another, but they're both talking about the same thing. Then they also have different perspectives on that thing, but they still have kind of like the same like mindset of how this game is going to shape out, because PC
Yeah.
players are going to be able to properly just jump into this game. If they don't want to play it, they can just jump out, and especially with Steam sales, because like let's be honest, nothing about this, the marketing of this game makes sense to me, and it sucks to see it because they clearly spent a lot of time on this, and
Mhm.
it's just doesn't feel like the game is progressing in terms of marketing anywhere
Mhm.
besides regressing from people wanting to buy this game. The only thing that can really fix this game at this point is just releasing it, and hoping people sink their teeth in it. And the
Right.
same thing with Fairgrounds. You know, we just heard that the founder left. So it's like, okay, great. If the next lives or game as a service game after this, Fairgrounds just lost their founder CEO. Sorry, I don't know exactly what her role was. I know
Mhm.
she was the creator. It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder where PlayStation stands on this. I don't know why PlayStation hasn't
Yeah.
already jumped in on this, but I mean, it sucks.
It really does.
I'm looking forward to jumping in regardless, though, because I think there's a lot of shit surrounding this game, like we just talked about. But
Mhm.
regardless, I don't think it comes down to any one person. It's a greater project. And if it does come together and they have a definitive release date that they are confident in, then I'm excited for that.
Right.
And if I believe in the image, which I feel like they do have something, then I feel like it's worth jumping into.
Mhm. Hmm?
What'd you say?
I said, how do you feel about wigs? Out of curiosity.
What do you mean? In movies, hate them.
Well, have you ever worn one?
No.
Good to know. Good to know.
That's all you want to know.
Hmm.
By the way, that's in recording.
Wait, you still recording?
Yeah.
It'll be a little surprise for next week's podcast.
Tune into next week's podcast where I wear Princess Peach's wig, apparently. Well, Casey, if the studios couldn't catch a break, what about studios that just make wrong decisions intentionally?
Mhm.
I'm talking about Fortnite.
Yeah.
I got an article from Kotaku. Fortnite in legal trouble after adding AI Darth Vader.
Hmm.
SAG after the massive actors and media union with over 160,000 members, that's crazy, has filed an unfair labor practice charge with the National Labor Relations Board against Epic Games over its inclusion of an AI powered Darth Vader in a recent Fortnite update. And, first off, we have to just address what the hell were they thinking? I mean, I don't even want to look at another article or anything. It just feels like at like face value.
Hmm.
What the hell? Like you're in a
On.
conference. Like what can we do? Add like we're doing a Star Wars update. What do people love? Darth Vader. Okay, let's do something with AI with that. That's
On paper, the idea sounds awful. I do not know how this update got out. Did you try the update?
of course not. I don't want to talk to James Earl Jones.
I went into Fortnite and saw this. This is probably the stupidest thing they have ever done.
Dude, I mean, the thing that kind of just, oh my god, how do I even talk about this? Because I'm a big Star Wars fan, so
Mhm.
it is kind of just rough seeing like you're taking James Earl Jones' voice, which, by the way, if you don't know this, Casey, he is the voice of Darth Vader, right?
No, yeah, yeah,
He also is dead.
right. He
Right?
passed. This is a crazy thing for them to do.
He is no longer with us. And yet people are having so many experiences with essentially talking to him via
Right.
AI in Fortnite.
Hmm.
I mean, did you manage to have a conversation with
I
posthumous James Earl Jones?
so I wanted to try it out because it was there and it was a crazy thing to do. Th- the AI is now where it's like it kind of goes in circles. So like if you ask him a question, it'll repeat how is this what does this have to do with the empire? This and that. Um the only thing I really got out of it was he talked about One Piece.
Of course.
Right.
That's
I
all
was
it
just
took.
testing things out.
That's all it took. It's like, I don't care if this tore down 100 trees. I was able to talk to Darth Vader about One Piece.
I tried it out for one game. It was the weird part is though too is that the way it works is there was a boss on the island and you take him out and it's Darth Vader and then you walk into a portal and he gives you a lightsaber and the force not force I forgot what it was, but then afterwards he is on your team and he'll constantly talk to you, so like you have to hold a button to actually talk to him, but if you don't, every now and then if you kill someone he'll go like, if you're playing as Aaron from Attack on Titan, he will say, Aaron, good job on that headshot. So no matter what, it will be talking to you.
It it sounds so cool, but it's so dangerous of how
Yeah,
this is shaping out to be. And it just feels like, and maybe I'm just so attached to gaming news and gaming media, whatnot, but it just feels like specifically when it comes to the gaming industry that the executives and the suits in this industry can not read the room at
right.
all.
Hmm.
L- There, what version of this update could have warranted anything good besides dragging people to your game? And it's so frustrating because like Fortnite could have could get away with anything, honestly. If they were to, like a Travis Scott concert where they built a stage but it was like a cartel execution, I'm sure people would be like, hey, that's pretty fucking cool.
Hmm.
But they get away with it every fucking time.
They
And
do.
now they're taking the AI voice off of someone who is
Has
dead
passed. Yeah.
and probably the most famous villain of all time.
Hmm.
And it's like the legal troubles of it all. It's like because SAG AFTRA is going after him right now. And I want to read more from
Hmm.
Kotaku. You might have heard about the AI powered Darth Vader that was added to Epic's popular Battle Royale last week as part of an ongoing Star Wars themed season. Players could talk to this AI powered Vader and ask him questions. The AI character's voice was designed to mimic that of the late James Earl Jones and was done with his and his state's permission. That changes it. That changes the conversation. Does that make it okay? I would say
Uh,
absolutely the fuck not.
right. Yeah. No.
I'll keep reading. Pretty quickly after he was added to the game, players got him to say slurs, swears, and other questionable stuff. Epic patched him and seems to have gotten the Sith Lord under control. This article, what the hell? But
Crazy
now the
work.
developer is in hot water with one of the largest media unions in the country because it included this AI powered Vader without first communicating or bargaining with SAG AFTRA. See, this reads to me as that there's one, too many people involved because honestly, if his estates got permission, then I feel like it should probably be left there. And it feels like SAG AFTRA is just how do you even SAG AFTRA? It
I
feels like
think it's.
SAG AFTRA just might be going after it just because they just hate it, right?
Mhm.
But they got permission to do it. But I think just
It's.
either way,
It's. It just
it's
doesn't. It's not
fucked
right.
up. It's fucked
Yeah.
up. It sucks. This all sucks. I mean, oh my god. James Earl Jones did us all a service in 77 and delivering one of the greatest villains of all time with his voice. And the fact that he's saying slurs and swears in a game that is notoriously popular with children
Right.
is
And
such a funny fact. And
the fact they needed to patch that, like they didn't expect people to go for that at first.
no, exactly. So what AI are they using? It's not theirs, right?
I don't actually know, but it's how do they not expect this?
I would imagine that it's Epic using AI. I think I want to say it is Epic's AI source or whatever, because let's remember Fortnite was a project of Epic. You know,
Mhm.
Fortnite was Save the World, which by the way, I was playing Save the World day one. I I pre-ordered Save the World.
Did you really?
I did. I did. But that game was like a project of what Epic does, which was Unreal Engine. So now we're at the point where they're implementing AI in a way where it's changing up how you play video games, which seems like iterative of what they do, which is innovate off of tech. And that's what Epic has always been, but they
Mhm.
kind of turn into more of a developer with the unforeseen success of Fortnite, like that's drawing in money, and I feel this AI powered Darth Vader is kind of just like an entry point of them testing the waters with what they can do with AI in development, and much like
Mhm.
what they do with Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 6, shit. Maybe they're working on that. Who fucking knows?
Who
But
knows?
Epic Games has always been always a tech conglomerate in the gaming sphere, because not only do they make games like Fortnite, but they also make Unreal Engine, which is something that you don't see a lot besides um Death Stranding is going to be in the Decima engine, which is the same engine that the Horizon games take in, which I think comes from Guerrilla Games. I think they made the
I
Decima
think so.
engine. And I just feel like this is like a test for what they can do. And I think it's just, it doesn't seem like they were concerned about the backlash at all. And
Right.
rightfully so. I mean, god damn, we're talking about it right now in this podcast. And let's be real. I want to be a gaming journalist, but let's be real. We're gonna talk about this or we're gonna shit on it, but they in a month from now are gonna announce a new season, and then just
Mhm.
no one's gonna think about this.
Yeah, this is gonna be news in the past when new season comes out, unfortunately.
That's so funny though. I mean,
Yeah.
talking about Vader,
Yeah, and I don't even know too much about Star Wars,
it's
but this
so.
is
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't even know too much about Star Wars, but it's just a crazy thing to do. I know it's like it's just frustrating.
I mean, he is the dude. He was the
Exactly.
main villain,
Hmm.
and they are now just ripping off of him.
Hmm. Like disrespectful.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if studios couldn't not stop making the wrong decisions, we got Randy Pitchford to just fuel that fire.
Yeah.
And Randy Pitchford recently was on a panel. I don't know, I can't remember which panel it was, but he was recently on a panel where he talked about the price of Borderlands 4, in which he was responded to a tweet. Oh, where's that at? Let me pull that up. He responded to a tweet in which someone asked him, Randy, the game better not be $80. Don't take that risk. A lot of gamers aren't going to pay $80 and feed that this notion of constant increase of the price tag. You are the CEO and you have some say with the price when it comes to your publisher. And Randy, of course, went to the internet, probably above all marketing and PR that he has on his team, and decided to go out publicly on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And he said, A, not my call. B, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to make it happen. My local game store has Starflight for Sega Genesis for $80 in 1991 when I was just out of high school working minimum wage at an ice cream parlor in Pismo Beach, and I found a way to make it happen.
Oh my
And I personally
god.
just want to say, Randy, what the fuck are you talking about? One,
Uh,
not your call. Okay, right. Not your call. So be it. Let's believe for a second it's not your call. Then B, considering it's not your call, why the hell are you justifying this as a fan? If it's not your call, you're going to believe yourself as a gamer, then why would you make it $80? Do you really believe that the game that you are making is $80? What the fuck are you talking about? I mean, he opens his mouth again and again and again, and it only leads us in trouble. And I want to play devil's advocate and be like, hey, this guy's a fucking idiot. And maybe it's good marketing. Maybe this guy knows what he's talking about.
mhm.
But god damn, this is just so ignorant
It
of
is.
like a game developer to talk about his own game and justifying why it would be an $80 break. I mean, you either just make the game $70 or you just make it $80 game. But for like a developer like him to just say, "Hey, you're gonna pay for it," is just the most insensitive thing that any publisher could probably say about their game. Be like,
Mhm.
"Hey, we're gonna make it $80 because you're gonna pay for it."
It- it's so crazy that he would actually say that because, like, I don't know, Borderlands 3 didn't even do that good. I have no faith in Borderlands 4.
Did you play
And to
Borderlands
just,
3?
yeah, I played Borderlands 3 fully.
Yeah. Did you? Well, okay. So I played this with Scott because Scott and I were big Borderlands fans. But then we got to the point. Do you remember in Borderlands 3 where it's like you got to the climax and then it went to credits and then it was like, oh, you thought this was the end of the game?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I got like a couple hours after that and
Hmm.
then just dropped off because I was just like, I think I played enough.
Yeah, and Borderlands 3 was my first Borderlands game.
Really,
Hmm.
it's
So
just
it's I have no idea if the other Borderlands are like 3. Um,
no. Two is certainly the best one. Everyone talks. I played two. It's actually my second most played game on Steam.
mhm. Wow.
Yeah. That was back when I was playing on my mom's Mac because it was the only way I was able to get games on
Oh.
PC. Even though that game did come out on PlayStation, but it was just like, oh, this game looks cool. The trailers
Mhm.
for Borderlands 2, I remember my watching that trailer just like watching football or something back in what was that, like 2012 or something?
Might have been.
I would have been 12 years old. You would have been what, like fucking 2 years old?
Oh my.
Um, yeah, I remember watching that. It was like, it was so. My parents were like, "Oh, do you want to play that game? It looks pretty cool." I was like, "Yeah, I do want to play that game." Never, they never
What's
got it
happening?
for me.
Hello.
What?
My PC just crashed.
No, you're good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, wait, hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Wait.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think I had
I'm
like a
looking
network
forward
issue.
to Borderlands 4.
Hmm.
I just this news means nothing to me, but God forbid this game does come out as $80 now. You know what? Honestly, what this news like kind of just feeds me is that maybe maybe Randy's doing us a favor.
Uh,
Maybe Randy's doing us a favor and
in what way?
maybe this guy is going against his suits and be like, yeah, this game might be $80, and then all this they're seeing all the negative reactions of it
Mm.
to make
Hmm.
the suits. But you know what? I don't want to give Randy that effort. I don't want to give him all that.
Hmm.
But hey, I'm looking forward to Borderlands 4. It's just so funny that like the news that we're reporting on this week is just terrible.
There's not really that many good news this week. That much
No,
good news this week.
I mean, dude, it's hard to get in front of these news, the news that we care about. Like, cause let's be honest, we're doing a podcast. It's only us two,
Hmm.
and we want to talk about the things that we want to talk about. But it is fun because I want to talk about, like, I played Fortnite. I love Borderlands. I do love
Hmm.
Borderlands. And what was that first one we talked about? Marathon Bungie. I
Yeah,
do like
marathon.
Bungie. And it sucks, man. It's so hard to make a video game nowadays that
Y-
everything that comes with these big studios is just
Though next week is kind of a big week.
what's the next week?
There's a there's a certain game drop that I completely forgot about to the second.
What's that?
The 30th is next week, right? What's today? The 22nd. Okay, I guess it'd be the after. Elden Ring Night Rain,
Is that next week?
May 30th.
No way. I thought that was like July.
May 30th is the new Elden Ring Night Rain multiplayer game.
That's crazy.
So we got some positives. I'm looking forward to that one.
Are you gonna be playing that? We're gonna be talking about that, or are you gonna be talking about that?
I was gonna because you didn't play Elden Ring, did you?
No, I don't care about Soulsborne. I care
Wow.
about Soulsborne's
Whoa. Whoa.
Souls games. They're just not my cup of tea. So hey, like I said, you're my JRPG correspondent. You could be my. Do you want me to add to your tags? Are you my Souls
I
correspondent?
could be your Souls correspondent too. I am a big Souls fan. Add that to the streams. You playing one Souls game. We can have a wheel and then we can spin it and see which Souls game it lands on.
No, no. I already know what my first Souls game will be.
Ooh, what is that?
It's when Bloodborne is updated.
That's never gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I've lost so much faith with PlayStation actually doing that.
It's gonna happen.
You know what? If that would be your first one, that'd be a great first one.
Hey,
That's probably the best one.
we'll save that. If PlayStation doesn't have a state of play or a showcase in the next couple weeks, um, we will have a podcast about our predictions for the state of play or showcase, because PlayStation always has a May-June showcase.
Right.
But with the Switch coming out, maybe that's different. So if like mid-June they don't already have one, then a podcast will be all about our predictions of the Switch or the
Okay, yeah. Oh, the
PlayStation.
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. This looks like so much fun, man. That guy just went through the wall, did he not?
I think wait, did he?
Hold on. Hold on a second.
For the audio listeners, we're looking at the Borderlands 4
Oh, it
gameplay.
disappeared and then he grappled to the wall. Okay.
Oh,
Because there's like a grappling system in this game now.
like First Descendants.
I'm excited for this game though. I mean, this
Mhm.
gameplay does look a little slow, but I think that's just them, just
Yeah,
make,
you know how it is when game plays out.
yeah, it's just them like it's scripted.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it definitely looks fun.
absolutely. I mean, I'm always down. It's like if the Division showed off like Division 3 and it was like slow gameplay or shitty gameplay, I would still be like,
Mhm.
okay, I get it though. I get what they're doing.
Yeah, I still never played the Divisions.
All right, then we're gonna do a playthrough of Division. Put that on the list.
Mhm.
So what's our list at? I'm playing Death Stranding, you're playing
Right. Oh, the
Uncharted,
Uncharted.
and then we'll do one together playing Division 2.
Mhm. Okay, yeah.
Um,
And then I think that's all we're at now. I don't know. We'll see what more we can add to the list.
well, we can do the night of the Switch release. We do our podcast, and then we do a stream of us playing Mario Kart, and then I just kick your ass.
Mm. Oh, well, either that or the wheelchair game.
Is that day one?
I think that's the one, isn't
Gotta be
it?
one. Well, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Oh
That.
god, that's gonna be so fun to talk about next week. Hey, next week, if you're still watching, next week is gonna be the game that you want to tune into. Now, I want to talk about another news story that came out just recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't really know what to make of this, but Naughty Dog is working on another game while working next to the Heretic, and I want to read an article from Polygon.
Mm-hmm.
Naughty Dog has another new game in the works. While we know Naughty Dog is currently developing its next big single player adventure, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, studio head Neil Druckmann casually mentioned Tuesday that the studio concurrently has another game in the works. Appearing on the Press X to Continue podcast, Druckmann said, "There's another game that's being worked on at Naughty Dog, where I'm in more of a producer role and I get to mentor and watch this other team and give feedback and be like the executive in the room. I enjoy all these roles and the fact that I jump in from one to the next. It makes my job very exciting and I always feel fresh. I'm never bored." Casey, what does that quote make you feel?
Um, I okay. So the okay. Sorry, it's just there's a lot. I don't know how to feel about it, especially because if I'm right, the last Naughty Dog that game that came out was Last of Us Part 2, right?
Right.
I don't know, but Last of Us Part 2 was good, so I really have not really a worry.
The question, the burning question about this whole situation is one, well, I guess the one question stems with many is one, is this an original project? Which I
Mm,
feel like, based on how this is being talked about just in a podcast, no disrespect to Press X to continue, no disrespect to them, but the fact that this is just being name dropped, not name dropped, but just coming out from a podcast by Neil Druckmann himself, I feel like
mhm.
it's not going to be the next big project
Right.
after this that you're seeing on screen. For our audio listeners, we're looking at the Intergalactic trailer, which, by the way, holy shit, what a trailer, man. I talked
Dude, I'm
about
so
this
excited.
whole we've talked, I talked to you about this at work.
Yeah.
This game has everything going for me. For audio listeners, it for all listeners, I'm a huge Blade Runner fan.
Mhm.
And the fact that this Naughty Dog, the studio that has made some of my favorite games of all time, is making a sci-fi retro futuristic action adventure, maybe? I mean,
I
this game has everything. Analog buttons. I mean, I know that sounds so disc. Like I know that sounds so like nerdy, but like analog buttons and a disc and a synthesizer, Adidas. I, and everyone wants to shit on this about being like, oh, this is a cash grab with all the IP or all the brands that are in this. But I look at it being like, no, this is like a real world. Being like, oh,
Mhm.
if this was like set in 300 years from now, Porsche would probably be making ships and whatnot. But regardless of whatever was going on, when I saw this, a synthesizer blade,
Mhm.
that is all I needed to be all in.
It's got such a cool aesthetic going
Oh
for
my
it.
god. Kumail's in it? The guy from Better Call Saul? Hell yeah.
Mhm. I
What
really don't see how this game could be bad. I think it's got a lot going for it.
I yeah, it's just it's hard to make a sci-fi story that is not over convoluted in being like this abstract story that is trying to say so many things at once, being like you're on a different planet, different time, sacrifices. There's so many things with sci-fi that can always just be like kind of with like how Star Trek does that on like different episodes within the season they're exploring so many topics within this universe, exploring like multiverse, time,
Mhm.
hell, even like real life shit, but in a space theme. They do so many things that just make it try to stand out, but while also being relatable. Same thing with like Game of Thrones. It's telling like real life, real time stories set in a fantasy or a sci-fi story. And I think if they do that, um, that's probably their best route instead of trying to
Right.
be like the most innovative space story that they can do of all time. And also, I don't know who I don't know if you know who this guy is, Casey, but a little guy known as Han Solo is my favorite guy in Star
I've
Wars.
heard.
So the fact that this gal is apparently a bounty hunter, that does a lot for me.
Mhm.
But yeah, but okay, we're talking about this game a lot, but they're working on another game.
Right.
What could that possibly? I can't imagine Sony
I mean,
is carte blanching Naughty Dog, which they should, but I can't imagine that Naughty Dog would want to focus their efforts in multiple aspects unless they had another studio working with them. And
mhm.
if that's the case, then I would kind of expect that they're working if they're working with Naughty Dog, that effort would be contributed towards a remaster or a remake, specifically a remake. If this news is coming out like the way it is, I think it would be like let's remaster Uncharted 2. But if Neil Druckmann is spilling that info,
Right.
do we
That's what's
think
getting
that
me.
Neil Druckmann is involved?
That's what's confusing me.
Because if
That's
that's the case, then God forbid it's The Last of Us Part 2 remade. Because that came out on the PS4, if you remember.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the season just came out.
You know what? They should do it. Enough.
Fuck that. Could you imagine how bad of a rep the PS5? Like, already looking back on it now. Like, let's just let's let's get to the point where we're at the PS5 Pro, right?
Right.
We both had PS5 Pros, and we're at our pedestals, and we're looking back down on the PS5, and we're looking like, what does the PS5 have that defines the generation that makes us look better? Days Gone Remastered or Remake, whatever they want to call it. Horizon Remake. Last of Us Part 1 Remake.
Major.
Last of Us 2 Remaster.
For some reason.
GTA 5 in enhanced, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You got God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got Ghost of Tsushima that did the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that DLC came out on PS4, but that was a PS4 game.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it's hard to look at this generation where, like, this generation of PlayStation is such it's in such a weird spot, because it's like they have delivered such great stuff, but we're always questioning the future, especially when we've had the future kind of like on our back. Because, like, we looked at the generation ended, PS5 came through, and I think we kind of expected Insomniac to do something pretty early, which they did, because I feel like the same time the PS5 was announced, they announced Miles Morales.
Right. Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm.
But then they also did um, Rift Apart, right? Is that what the game's called?
No, yeah. Yeah. Red
Which is a
Ratchet and
fun
Clank Rift
game,
Apart.
which I'm gonna get our girlfriend. I mean, my girlfriend, your sister,
You're
to
exactly.
play. Same person,
Yeah.
different relations. Yeah, I want her to play that. And they also did Miles Morales, but that was a release game. And then I think within the same year, they also did Rift Apart, which is
Yeah, it
crazy.
was.
So that was like a definitively PS5 game. But Last of Us Part 2 was not a PS5 game. It wasn't.
Right, it was a yeah.
Even with God of War, I think Ragnarok came out on the PS4, right?
Mm, did it?
I think so.
Wait,
Spider-Man
hold up.
2 I don't think came out.
Let me look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, it went on PS4. It was on PS4.
Wow. Yeah. So when did Spider-Man 2 come out?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 came out on I think yeah, October 20th, 2023.
And did that come out on the PS4?
No. It was only PS5.
Right. So then, looking at PS5's catalog, what do they have to really say for in this generation? Can you really say PS5 was, or can you say Ragnarok was part of the PS5 generation? I don't know.
Yeah.
I always hate the gap, and I don't
Hmm.
know. I really don't like the gaps, but I'll allow it. Same thing with, like, Breath of the Wild that came out on the Wii U.
Yeah, that did come out. I played it on the Wii U.
But still, they still have to question themselves in this generation as to whether or not, like, what they have going to them. Because
Hmm.
and I think that this is going to be a conversation for another podcast that we'll have, is about how Xbox has been doing this year, because so far, holy
Ooh,
shit, man,
it's been a rough.
Xbox has been killing it this year. Holy shit. But
They've been
yeah,
killing it. Wait, I'm trying to think of what games they dropped. Indiana Jones.
it, um, Indiana Jones on PS5, but Avowed, Oblivion, Doom, about to be
Oh
Gears of
my
War
god,
remastered.
you're right. You are right. Actually, yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Game Pass
Yeah, dude.
is
Game Pass.
knocking it out of the park. I literally I was looking at it because my other friends got on the other night, and I was looking at my Steam library, and there was like 2 games that I played this month, and we're talking about for Thursday, May 22nd. And I was looking at my Steam library, and if you do it the right way, it will show you the games that you played each month,
Right.
and then separate them of the most recent of each month. And I only had like 2 games in Steam this this month as of like 3 days ago, because I was playing Clay Obscure through Game Pass, Doom through Game Pa Game Pass,
Right.
Oblivion through Game
Game
Pass.
Pass is crazy.
It's popping up, and shit, Indiana Jones. I mean, I already played that. I reviewed it. Check that out, by the way, on my channel. It's a
Hmm.
great video on my channel.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, you gotta look at this generation with PlayStation and be like, what are they doing? It's been remasters and remakes, and it's like, I know Oblivion just did their own thing, but that was a completely different entity. They call it remaster, but it's
It's like,
completely a remake, and it's on
yeah.
Game Pass. It's free. I just played it. I
Hmm.
was gonna pay $60 for that game, but I played it because it was on Game Pass and I already had it.
Hmm.
What a great deal! Could, dude, what if they did an Uncharted 4 remaster?
Remaster. Dude, I would be like,
Dude, Days Gone. Look at Days Gone. Look at Last
Days
of
Gone.
Us.
Yeah. I don't I don't know. I
What are they making? What are they making at Naughty Dog? Another
Oh, wait. You forgot about the best Naughty Dog game?
Crash Bandicoot?
Team Racing.
Crash Bandicoot Team Racing?
Yeah.
Crash Team
They could
Racing?
yeah. Come on.
It's no longer a Naughty Dog game, is it?
That is a Naughty Dog game, right?
They don't own Crash anymore.
Wait, do they not own Crash anymore? This is wait.
Isn't that an EA?
No.
PlayStation made that game, but it wasn't. I could be totally wrong, but I don't. It's
That's what I
definitely
don't
not.
remember hearing about that.
Naughty Dog made Naughty Dog made that game under another publisher.
Hmm. Oh, it is not EA. It is
Wait, give me
Activision.
Activision. That was the one I was like, fuck. I knew. Yeah, I knew it was one of the big
Okay, yeah.
dogs.
Never mind. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. Never mind. Um. Who knows what they could be cooking up? Do you really think it could be Uncharted remaster?
No, I imagine it's gonna be like just, I don't know. It could be a remaster. If Neil Druckmann is coming out being like, "Hey, we're working on another game," that makes me want to believe that someone else is working on the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just kind of involved.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll figure it out. We'll see what that comes through, because we imagine that we're gonna probably see a showcase or a state of play very soon. But Casey,
Mm-hmm.
we have more pressing matters to talk about.
Mhm.
Do you know what that means? Do you know what time
What
it
is?
is?
Oh my god. What time is it? Yep.
Welcome to The Ladder, a show within a show where we talk about, or where Casey has to decipher what the game is. We have a series of words scaling in very, very vague to less vague, in which Casey is able to say a video game every word until he gets it right. I don't know if I said that well. I probably didn't. But do you get it?
Yep. I get it. And I got this.
All right.
I got it at 9 last time.
You did get a 9. So let's hope that I can go longer because I honestly did not spend a lot of time on this one. But hopefully it's at least more vague. You ready?
Mhm.
Your first word is. Oh, franchise.
Okay, franchise. Is it Doom?
Your next word is colorful.
Ooh.
Is this game
Okay.
colorful? Is it not?
Okay, I'm gonna go down the Nintendo route. I'm gonna say Splatoon.
Your next word is waves. Waves. What does that mean?
What? Okay.
What does waves mean?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Franchise is like there's more than one game, right?
It's up to your interpretation.
Okay, you know what? All right. Waves. Okay. Okay. Can I skip? I have no idea.
No, you
Actually, I'm
must
not gonna
say an
skip.
answer.
I'm just gonna say Mario Odyssey, just thrown out there as a skip.
Next word money.
What?
A game that has money in it? Game that has to do with money.
The franchise bit is what's confusing me. Okay.
I mean,
what's the
that shouldn't confuse you. It's the most vague answer. Yeah, it's part of a franchise.
It's part of a franchise. It's colorful.
Has
Has to do with
waves
money.
and has money.
Um. Oh my God. Oh. Oh. Um. Yeah. Sonic 4.
Incorrect. Next word
Yeah, I figured.
heroes. It's got heroes in it. Doesn't? I don't
Wait.
know.
Marvel Rivals?
Does Marvel Rivals have money in it?
No. I mean, they have tokens.
Is
I
Marvel
know how.
Rivals your final answer?
Yes.
Next word
God.
upgrades.
Is it League of Legends?
League of Legends.
Hmm.
Final answer?
Yes.
Incorrect. Next word towers.
Oh, is it Balloons Tower Defense? Balloons Battle Tower Defense? What was it?
Need you to be specific.
I do. Hold up. Balloons Battle TD6? Is
No,
that,
you
wasn't
can't
that
look
one?
it up.
I didn't look it up. I didn't look it up.
All right.
Isn't it? I'm going with the sixth one.
Final answer?
Yes. I know. Oh, okay.
Blues Tower Defense 6. Nicely done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. This has been The Ladder in the Poogles Games Podcast Press Reset. Thank you for joining us in this rendition, whatever you want to call it. I've been your host, Happy, and we'll see you next week. All right, Casey.
That waves part confused me so hard. I thought you meant like actual
Waves.
tidal
Yeah,
waves. I was thinking like
waves is what I want to talk about. Speaking of waves, unless you want to call them levels, let's talk about Doom.
Oh yeah.
Doom came out last week to this day. And you've been playing a lot of Doom, right?
Yeah, playing a lot of Doom the Dark Ages.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. I'm having a good time with it. It is a lot of fun, but I'm running into a problem I kind of find with every Doom game I play. And that's kind of just I kind of get bored a little quickly. It's just a lot of, completing levels and just getting to the next section. And a part I got to do more research on is the actual story, because that is something I'm very confused on. I am not too good at the Doom story. So maybe the story is great in this game if I knew what was going on.
I wouldn't
But
put money on it.
right, but the actual like mechanics of the game and the weapons, how they feel, I think is, in my opinion, much better than Eternal. I think the way the ammo doesn't, it still runs out quickly, but not as bad as Eternal, so you still have the chance to use all the weapons. And it's a lot of fun. And I know when I end up finishing it, I'll do like a full length video on it. But
Wait,
for
you're
now, I
gonna
think
make a video?
yeah, I'm gonna make a video on this game.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna do a review. So that would be my full thoughts. But yeah, I would say it's fun. I say it's worth it if you like Doom, and if you don't, I think this might be unless you're going for the story, I think it's a good like place to start at least.
What part of Doom, or this version of Doom, makes it stand out as to why you would not only want to make a video about it, but also enjoy?
The part that really stands out to me, I would say, is it's honestly like the gunplay and the shield. It's so like simple, but I just have such a good time because this game has a parry system, which the other games don't have, and it feels just really satisfying to parry the enemy moves. And I don't know, it's just I find it more fun than 2016 Eternal. Um, I'm not sure if it's more fun than the original Doom. Haven't played, the one that came out a long time ago, but yeah, I would say this one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, considering you're 15, you wouldn't have not understood what the original Doom was. But yeah, it definitely innovates off of what came before, especially in this trilogy of newer games. But it also does something different, in which the same thing that Eternal tried doing back in 2019. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was 2019.
But yeah, it's definitely doing something different. A lot of
Mhm.
things different, but while keeping the same things that went going for it back in the day. And I say back in the day, as in back in the day in the 90s and early 2000s, but also with 2016 and 2019. And it's interesting coming from an outsider, because I did live those days like you did not, because you're 15.
Oh my god.
And I just, these aren't my type of games, but I have a shit ton of fun. I
Mhm.
love playing. I've played all of them, and I can still say that these aren't my type of games, but god damn, are these just a roller coaster of just heavy metal. And
Mhm.
the biggest criticism that I can give this game, as someone that's just kind of an outsider, even though I played all of them, the biggest criticism that I can give is the sound mixing. of this game
Mm.
because I want this heavy metal music playing while I'm just fucking up these demons, you know? God bless. I want to kill these demons and I want to do it to some heavy metal, but the sound mixing in
Mhm.
this game, the music, it just feels like it's losing that touch of what Doom is.
Mhm.
And that's almost a borderline. I don't want to discredit my criticism because I am talking about like the music of it all, but I will criticize it. I
Mhm.
love the intensity of what the Doom heavy metal bullshit that you're being put in front of is.
Mhm.
Doom is all about just taking look at this guy. This guy's disgusting. And I just kicked him. That's what I want in Doom, but I want it set to just some heavy metal bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But overall, I mean, this game implements a lot of things that are so fundamentally different from what the structure of Doom is as a franchise that makes it different but so familiar at the same time, which is so hard for like a sequel in any franchise that stems back to the 90s can do without feeling like they're treading on waters that are so different from what they're what they're known for.
Right.
And I really appreciate that this franchise is a franchise that like knows what they're doing. And
Mhm.
regardless of what they do, they know that it's like bring the fucking guns, bring the enemies, the hellish enemies, bring the gore, and this is Doom. This is Doom
Right.
guy, Doom Slayer that we're talking about. And what other franchise does it like that? Like I want to think of like Mario 2D, where it's like you put a 2D Mario out there and it's like you know what you're getting and you love it
Yeah.
for that. And Doom is that franchise that's like put out a new Doom, you know what you're getting from Doom. But this game does a lot of interesting systems that kind of like play off of one another that make it like really fluid in how you play. Like with your shield equally complements your gunplay where you like that guy that you just saw on screen. I sent my shield into his body and while I was shredding him I was able to then
Yeah.
hit him more and more because he was stunned with my shield. There's just a lot of things about this version of the game that make it like still synonymous with that fast chaotic version of the original Doom while making it feel like there's a lot of more that you can address any certain situation within any combat scenario, which is
Mhm.
really fun to play around with, especially when there's upgrade paths that you're not gonna see in this video because I'm not gonna drag around and play around with that. I did I did record because like right now for audio listeners, you're watching my gameplay, and I did record the version of if you didn't already know, this game has a lot of different level based interactions with
Mhm.
how you play the game. So there's a couple levels where you are in a mech, a giant mech, in which you are punching these giant hellish titans, if you want to call them. I think that's what
Right.
they call them, titans. And then
I
there's
think so, yeah.
also these very expansive open world levels in which you are riding atop a dragon.
Mhm.
And those are really cool concepts. I r- but I Have you experienced this, Casey? Do you know what talking about?
Like the mechs and the dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've played those levels,
How
and
far do you
there
think you are in the game?
I know I'm over halfway. I'm on like chapter I think 11 of 22, and I don't know. This might change by the end, but I just kind of wish there was like more of like the mech sections, like the dragon ones too, and they might increase as the more it goes on, but it just felt like there could be more
See, the thing
with
is
it.
about the mech segments is that like I'm a big mech person.
Right,
You
Attack on
know that.
Titan. Yeah.
And I'm talking about like Power Rangers and Gundam
Right, Attack on
and
Titan.
Evangelion, not Attack on Titan. That's exactly where I was trying to go with. Definitely not Attack on Titan. And anyone watching this will absolutely agree with not a mech. But in those segments, it felt like there wasn't really a lot to do.
Right.
It felt like you had the if you're playing on mouse and keyboard, it was like you left click to punch, right click to I think also punch. I think it was like
Yeah, it's just like a
and then you press space to just dodge.
Mhm.
And that was like about it. So it was like it felt like really great in scale and it looks awesome, but it doesn't it doesn't warrant this epic scale when the whole mission is just surrounded around this very simple but large scale
Mhm.
combat. And, you know what pisses me off, Casey?
What is
You know how science has always told us that mechs looking at them, things in the sky looking at them because they're far away, they look a lot slower.
right.
But when you're in a mech, it's just as slow, right? So it's like this doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah.
These mechs are punching slow still, and I don't like
Mhm.
that. When you're in a mech, it still feels slow.
Yeah. It's they could have done way more with it. It's still cool, but I just wish there was more expanded onto it.
Yeah, but the game plays. I mean, what are you playing on?
I'm playing on PlayStation 5.
And how's that play? Oh God, I can't imagine playing this game on controller. How does that? How does
It
that?
is it definitely so the way are you talking about like the weapon wheel?
Just playing on controller,
Yeah, it's a bit rough, especially the weapon wheel. Doom Eternal had this kind of problem where if you look at the PC gameplay and the console gameplay, where the PC players are able to just switch weapons that quickly. You press a button, you switch
right?
the weapons, but on PlayStation, you had to hold down the wheel button and then everything slows down. You selected the weapon, and then there's only one button that's like the quick select. Um, Doom the Dark Ages kind of tries fixing that, and I think it does a better job where it's still the weapon wheel, but if like two guns are like the same type, you press square and it switches, and then you still have the quick switch, but it's still slower than if you were just on PC. But it still feels nice to play. I definitely think
Oh, totally.
it's still really
You
nice.
just
Other
saw that
than
right there, like just like clashing, like
mhm,
the shield like gains you distance, and then it does. It also has like an AOE effect. It feels so good, and you can throw your shield
mhm.
around in this game, and it feels kind of like um God of War, playing God of War for the first time and just like
Yeah,
throwing the
mhm,
Leviathan axe and getting back and just feeling like that like that hit back into your hand. You felt like you
mhm,
could really heal that or like feel that. That's
mhm.
really fun. Oh, you're seeing right now me struggling with this one right now. Be
As
like,
opposed-
It's like how the hell that? And I think I ended up just getting rid of
Are you like
this. Let me just go for it. Yeah, I mean this game. I mean it's a hell of a ride, and
Mhm.
I have a recording, but it was corrupted
Oh.
of me being on the mech and the dragon.
Hmm.
I just found that out like right before we were recording that
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, I have a corrupted file. What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, this is the fucking part." And then there's also these like open zone levels that are just levels
Hmm.
that are like extensive, like roaming around doing your own thing, and just
Hmm.
levels in themselves, like not taking up, I mean, taking up in terms of playtime, but taking up in terms of what the game is, which is just fucking mind-boggling because it's
Yeah.
like this game has really deep levels that aren't just like go forward. There's a lot
Really
of
well
like hidden
designed.
secrets
Hmm.
that are not clear at all.
Hmm.
Like you're going off the beaten path and whatnot. And it's really just interesting, but just like learning the language of the game and being like, oh, okay, I understand. You got
Hmm.
you gotta look over like an empty abyss and be like, oh wait, there might be a ledge down there.
Right. They really outdid themselves with like the level design of this game. Um.
Yeah, I actually in this playthrough, it definitely looked bad, but I turned oh there boss is spawning. Um, I turned up the difficulty for this one, so
Mm. Did you do you also have the game speed up?
I didn't speed up the game, but I turned up the difficulty from the start because I was
Mm.
hearing a lot of pundits and like kind of funny, and everyone was saying like the games felt a little easy. So from the start, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna turn the game up.
That's fair.
So
I'll
I
say
can't remember what the difficulty is called because they call it like weird things.
yeah. It's like I think what
Like
was
the first one is
normal. I
like
think is
give
like
me
hurt me
grace or
plenty.
something.
Yeah. I would say also like try turning the game speed up because that's really fun too. I have it on the max.
Yeah. That's what I want, but I'm afraid of doing that for everyone else. I just want me to move around faster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it is, I will say about this game, and probably the most refreshing thing about this game playing it is that this is a AAA video game and it's got levels in it.
Hmm.
It's so hard to just like try to sit here right now in our podcast and try to say how great it is that there are levels in video games, but for people on the outside, they probably wouldn't understand
Hmm.
that levels in video games nowadays are so hard to come by. So the fact that
Yeah.
it's like I you know you play like 30 minutes into this, you beat a level and then you're done. So then you
Hmm.
can come back or like keep playing or whatever in a level based scenario
It's just so nice.
is so refreshing in a
Hmm.
triple A game. And the last example that I could probably use is Astrobot,
Hmm.
and that's such a different scenario, but god damn, it's so refreshing to just be able to just be like, this is what I'm doing in this game play of this game.
Hmm.
You know, I'm not trying to play for anything. I'm just being like, you know, let me play some Doom. and then you play through a level and you're like, oh, that took me like 20, 30 minutes. Let me do another one. And that the fact that this is a triple A game with levels, I mean, that's what what a great treat for a triple A game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, oh my god! And then you get the mech right here, but I don't have my mech gameplay because I
Right.
didn't record it or because my file got corrupted. But yeah, this game, I'm having a great time with it. How far do you say you were?
I'm like halfway, like a little over halfway.
I think I'm also halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be competent? Because I don't feel like the only point once you get to the halfway point, the only thing that you could probably do is just like keep on upgrading your weapons. Which for myself, I'm only using the super shotgun,
Same here.
and until I run out of ammo, I'm switching to the next weapon, which is probably the whichever the one is the electric one.
You like that one?
Yeah, I mean it's fast, and then if you upgrade enough, when you shoot them, it just spreads the
Yeah.
electric energy to the rest of them.
I was gonna say, yeah, I like using the skull one, the pulverizer, I think it's
Yeah,
called. Yeah.
that one runs out of ammo for me quick,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean the flail. Oh my god, the flail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an incredibly rewarding game, and I think whether or not you want to play this game or even want to enjoy this game, it's such a refreshing game for the current climate of
Mm-hmm.
what games are kind of going through because it is a level based triple A video game, which you
Right.
don't see often. And it's hard to 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 put it in words without anyone feeling like they don't understand what that means because the games nowadays have kind of conditioned us to just be like, especially games as a service, have conditioned us to just be like, oh, you're done with this game? Just sign off. Whereas this
Mm-hmm.
game is like, this is a level, play it. If you don't finish it, too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything more rewarding than just like finishing a mission and being like, all right, cool. Cool. I got these collectibles. I defeated
Mm-hmm.
these enemies. I can quit now, or I can do another one. On
Right.
and on a triple A level of that, where you're getting the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, that's the best way you can play it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do you think that you're gonna play Doom or finish Doom?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
it feels like that. It's such a rewarding game that, especially with the secrets and everything,
Yeah,
that
it's addicting to keep going back to the same level.
the fun thing about the
Try to get all the
secrets
secrets.
the fun thing about the secrets is that like it gives you the game gives you nothing to like
Yeah,
think
it
about.
literally doesn't.
The only thing that it might give you is that like the yellow paint debate
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, there's something. I see the wall climbing
Mm-hmm.
yellow paint over there, but besides that it's like, oh, I just happened to look this direction and there might be something over
Exactly.
there, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our first impressions or even review. Do you want to review it? I mean, I feel like I'm of the opinion that like I'm not an actual games journalist, but I feel like I could definitely give a score,
Yeah,
especially
you
for a
want.
non-story game. It does have a
Mm-hmm.
story, but come on. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. So what would you rate it out of 10 Ripley's?
Out of 10 Ripley's, is that our score?
I think that'd be a fun little score to have.
I'll give it 8.5 Ripley's.
8.5 Ripley's. I think that's pretty fair. I think I'd give it like a maybe 8 Ripley's.
Yeah, I mean, I could go higher. I just don't feel like it's necessarily my type of game. Like I love playing
Right.
Doom games, but like if I was part of a team that was with IGN or GameSpot or anyone, I would not be a part of the review team because I just don't really play Doom games. I've
Mm-hmm.
never been one. I played all of them. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've gone back and played Doom and Doom 64. I don't think I played Doom 2.
You didn't play Doom 64 when it came out?
No, good Jesus, man, come on. I did play Doom or six Mario Kart 64 though.
When it dropped?
No. All right. Hey, how about your birthday though? Yesterday, you're 15.
20th. Wow. Wow.
I was desperate. I had to throw that out there.
I was about to say.
That did nothing. Anyways, let's just move over. Oh, the Ripley cam is on. Let's move over to what we've been playing. I'll start with you. You been playing anything fun and anything interesting?
Oh yeah, okay, the what we've been playing. I other than Doom, The Dark Ages, I have been playing. It's like this stupid grinding game I kind of gotten addicted to called First Descendants. It is literally the most, Warframe?
Of course.
Think of that, but if it wasn't like as polished. And
Okay.
it's giving me something to play in the background, but it's fun. It's fun. If you're a fan of like live service games like Warframe, you can give it a shot. It's free on I think every platform. I'm not positive about Xbox. I don't see why it wouldn't be though. But it's on PC and PlayStation, so why
You
not give
want
it a shot?
you want to talk a little bit about it? The gameplay?
Yeah, the gameplay is like it's a third person shooter and it has descendants which are just heroes. They all have different abilities. It's quite literally just like the gameplay of Warframe, and it's like the way you can break down weapons like Destiny, where you break down, combine, etc. The actual like gameplay loop of it is you visit different areas on like I don't even know if it's like planets or something. I think it might be. I'm not sure. I don't know the story too well. I'm just using it for the game. But you just go to different areas, you do like missions, and then you do protocols, which are like tiny levels. And then you do a boss fight, and that's pretty much the campaign. Then you repeat stuff to get material to try to upgrade or get different legends or get like an ultimate version of a legend or descendant. And of course, it's extremely hard to get. They have very low drop rates. It's just one of those types of games, but it's really fun. Just give it a shot. It's free. So, what have you been playing?
What? So I've been jumping on Helldivers since they introduced. We talked about this last week,
Mm-hmm.
but they finally introduced that there was a threat last week that we were talking about
Right.
that there was a threat coming to Super Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and now they have come to Super Earth. So I've been defending democracy, and it's been a good time, especially for me going back to um oh going back to Helldivers at this point in time,
Mm-hmm.
where I took a long break and now I'm here defending democracy, getting back into it all and experimenting around and taking it a little bit more serious where I'm like, okay, what guns, what stratagems do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
And like we talked about last week, they added um, weapon customization. So it's fun playing around with what's what the game has added, especially as someone that took a little bit of a break from this game, that the stratagems that they have added and seeing that kind of unravel and experimenting around with them
Mm-hmm.
since it has changed, like I said, for like the third time. It's fun seeing this game change from how we played it when it first came out. And,
Right.
and because this game has like the SOS beacons where you can like throw it down the moment that you land. If you're not playing with like other friends or if you don't have like 4 people with you, you can throw like
Mm-hmm.
the SOS beacon down and then have people join you and then they bring their own stratagems and taking down
Mm-hmm.
this new threat that is threatening the whole thing that we've been defending. It's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of fun. So I've been grinding towards getting certain weapons and stratagems, and this game is just it's a blast. It, like I want to play it right now. It's such mindless fun, especially with
Mm-hmm.
friends. It's like you can choose your different. It's a PVE, and you can choose your difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
It's and it's got the whole like stigma around it that it's just like a stupid democracy spreading
Yeah.
bullshit of people getting shot out of space and using weapons on these aliens and bugs and robots. It makes no sense, but it perfectly sets up the opportunity to just get out there and just shoot some random shit with your buddies.
Mm-hmm.
And I jumped back on it since they've gone back to Super Earth now that it is on Super Earth. And these new maps, these new settings are set within cities. And these skyscrapers are being um, destroyed by these illuminates. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of fun to see this unravel in real time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing like how many people are defending Super Earth. It's such a stupid thing, but it's so fun and interesting to watch this
Yeah.
just unravel. But yeah, but besides that, just the other night, been playing Rainbow.
Oh, going back on Rainbow?
Been playing Rainbow because CJX comes out in about 3 weeks, June 10th, I'm pretty sure. So we're getting our last licks into Rainbow before it changes forever, apparently.
Right.
Because I don't know if you know this, but I've been playing Rainbow since the beta.
Whoa.
So if you question my
Whoa.
faith in Rainbow, I've been playing Rainbow since before December 2015.
Damn. Okay, so I'm interested in what you think when the new update drops. See you Jax on June 10th.
Oh, I'll have a lot to say. I think that might be the first podcast after the Switch 2 launch. So I will
It's
have
gonna be a
a
packed
lot to
podcast
play.
then.
Yeah, it's gonna
Mhm.
be I think if it lines up, I don't know. I'll give it a week
Mhm.
because I think the week after the Switch 2 comes out, I think it does come out. And then we'll talk about like our first week with the Switch, including our
Right.
review of Mario Kart,
Mhm.
which you're gonna hate because you don't understand Mario Kart because you're an idiot.
I mm, okay, you know what? I Mario Kart 8 is okay.
See
What are
this
you
bean?
pointing at? Oh, wait,
See this bean right here?
the ghost?
No, you see that black figure right there?
Oh yeah.
Hey, audio listeners,
Oh, there's yeah, okay, yeah.
I said, I'll leave it at that. Yeah, but June 10th is gonna be an interesting one. I think June 10th is I think a Tuesday. So I'll have at least 2 days before that podcast
Yeah, you have 2 days
with
with
Rainbow,
CJX.
but
Mhm.
I mean, that's only gonna give me 5 days with Mario Kart.
Mhm. Which if it's anything like 8, you only need like 1 day.
With Rainbow,
I was meant Mario Kart. If it's anything like.
what the fuck are you talking about? What is Deltarune a day
Oh,
one?
yeah, that's day 1 on Switch too.
Is that
And on
why you're like,
PlayStation.
you only need 1 day? Casey, you have not been
Honestly,
following. God,
Delta
we.
Deltarune 2 is like the biggest drop this year.
It's absolutely not.
It's my biggest drop this year.
All right, so next week I need you to talk about Elden Ring.
Yeah, I could do that. Night Rain. I'm gonna have.
I
That's
need
the 30th, so that would be. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would have 1 day with it. So yeah.
do you and Anthony play that?
Yeah, we plan to try Night Rain out. Actually, it would be the that would actually be the June 5th podcast when we talk about it because it comes out the next day after Thursday.
So it comes out the 5th.
It comes out the 30th, but that's a Friday.
So after next week's podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, I mean, we can do like a emergency podcast if you guys want.
That's true too, yeah. Just
We
to
can,
get like the thoughts out there for Night Rain.
yeah. Do you guys want to do that?
Yeah, sure, I'm down.
All right, cool. We're strategizing real time.
Yeah, we're
You're
yeah,
hearing
this
this uncut version of us
mm-hmm.
going through the motion. That's cool. Anything else you've been playing? Anything outside
Sorry.
of the norm?
Um pretty much it. Just I've been playing, as I said, first Ascendance and then Doom the Dark Ages, which we've already talked about. Um yeah, I don't think there's anything else I'm playing right now. But you got me interested in Game Pass, so I might get that.
You don't already have Game Pass?
I actually do not already have Game Pass. But I'm definitely gonna I used to have it,
All right, let's
but if
kick it
it just gives
over.
me yeah.
Let's kick it over to our wish list of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Here I have a game called Cavern of Dreams. And this is a really fun game, especially as someone that's working on a former N64 game slash GameCube game.
Mm.
This is if you're looking at it, this is a game that came out 2 years ago. Yeah, it looks like an N64 game. It looks like a
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64 Banjo Kazooie rare game. It looks awesome. So the description of this game is Cavern of Dreams is a surreal 3D platformer with collectathon elements, which if you play Donkey Kong 64, you know, that is the most notorious collectathon game. It's ridiculous how that game is. With the collectathon elements created in the style of N64 era platforming gems, play as Finn, the young dragon who enters the Cavern of Dreams in search of his unhatched siblings stolen away by a mysterious villain. Explore densely packed worlds full of puzzles to solve, challenges to overcome, and treasures to collect as you get closer to solving who stole your siblings and why. Yeah, I mean, anyone that grew up at my age and even before, this is just right up your alley if you still want that nostalgic experience. Because you look at this, I imagine it's so hard. Oh my god, my dog is on my headphones right now.
Oh.
I imagine it's so hard to like intentionally replicate that
Hmm.
that 3D. Uh, fuck, Ripley, what the? I imagine it's so hard to replicate that N64 period,
Hmm.
especially in a platforming sense,
Hmm.
and the fact that they're kind of doing it all, but also still making it look good.
I was gonna say this game looks really cool. Like I really dig the art style.
Yeah, it's really fun, and I do want to play. They got the mirrors like Mario 64.
Hmm.
Yeah, when we're gonna do a stream to Donkey Kong 64 for you?
You want to do a stream of me playing Donkey Kong 64? You said.
Hell yeah!
I'm down.
Do you know what that's
I
about?
no, I have no idea. I'd never played really any of the Donkey Kongs. I've seen them, but I haven't.
Again, he turned 15
Oh,
yesterday.
oh my god.
Yeah, but look at this game. It's got a lot of set pieces, which is I feel like, like the 21st century version.
Hmm.
It's like it's got a lot going on in this game
It does, but like, it looks really beautiful. Like the way the
because
colors pop.
well, it's just it's so interesting looking back on 3D platformers. There's 3D games kind of this echelon after talking to Lee Schuneman, the director that I interviewed for Star Fox Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me that he was just like, no, I mean it was the fucking 90s. We we didn't have writers. We didn't have voice actors. It was literally just us in the studio just bullshitting around, right? But for something like of this type of game, they have the ability to be like, we can make a game like this and do so much more because making a 3D game now is it's got to be so much easier
Hmm.
than back then, right?
Right.
It's a lot of fun though.
I'm definitely gonna give this game a try. This looks a lot of fun.
All right, you got a game?
Oh yeah, I do have a game actually.
What's it called?
This this game is called We Harvest Shadows. It has not come out yet, but it does have a free demo, which I really think everybody should try. It is here. I'll read the description. It is a first-person narrative game with farming and horror elements. Players take control of Garrett, a transplant from the city who has exiled himself to an abandoned farm for the rest of his life. He thinks the world is better without him. With each new day, a new to-do list. Players will fix up their house, care for livestock, and improve their farmstead, all while exploring hundreds of acres of the surrounding farm. But in the quiet and lonely nights, something stirs. Is Garrett truly alone, or is something stalking him from the shadows? This this game is it is like a farming game. So in the daytime, you farm, you take care of like your chickens, you build like on the side of your farm, and yeah, you just explore. But the night is where it gets scary. I'm trying to tread lightly because it does have a story to it, and the demo goes a little bit in it, and it's really good. But it's just one of those things that I think if you're a fan of like cozy farming games like Stardew Valley, like we talked about, and you love horror, this game is literally really good. And it's a free demo. It's
Are you sure you want to go the Stardew Valley route?
listen. I'm just saying if you like cozy farming games, if you like the farming aspect, but it is farming mixed with horror.
This is giving me like the forest vibes.
Mm, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, definitely like the forest, but like the farming aspect is way more like actual farming than just like building, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
So
So,
no, this is giving me oh right there.
mhm.
Oh, okay. This is a horror game. Okay, for audio listeners, this is a horror game. It
Yeah,
showed it right there at the end. Yeah, it's definitely the forest with farming.
mhm. It definitely
This
tricks
this
you.
is season 2 of The Walking Dead.
that's that's why I'm trying to like. I'm just saying, please give it a shot, including you, Happy, because this demo is a blast. This is a really good demo. I don't think there's a release date. It's still to be announced, but there's a lot of potential with this. It looks like
Oh
the
yeah,
latest dev update was March 26th. So it's still, yeah.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, this looks cool.
It's really good. And I'm excited for the full drop.
I love anything in a field.
Really?
I mean, considering, Jesus Christ, where we live, I think we get the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
and the open world farming, throw a
Exploring.
little religion in it.
hmm
Oh, there's a cat right there. Hell yeah, supernatural along with like farming open world shit. Hell
hmm
yeah. What the hell is that? Is he holding a sheep?
Yeah, that is a little yeah.
And he's farming.
It is farming. So all the farming players out there that just like doing the chores of farming are gonna love this.
Yeah, along with oh gee, oh my god, what the hell was that? Yeah, for audio listeners, there was some spooky shit while this guy was just trying to lay some hay, and that's not a euphemism. He was just trying to lay some hay, lay some wheat.
I almost kind of want you to like we add this to the list of games for you to play because I really think that
This is a streaming game.
yeah, it definitely is. And I said the demo gives you a good amount.
No, that's description. What did I say? Horror allegory? That's crazy to say that this is an allegory. An allegory to what?
I'm actually not sure.
This is a horror game with I just
Yeah,
saw
it says it
a
takes
fucking
inspiration from
Slenderman
PT.
character. What is this an allegory towards?
Yeah, it says it's inspired by PT and Edith Finch. Ooh, that one's a good one.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
it is a
do
very much a slow burn.
I do need to play Edith Finch.
Did you have you never played that?
No,
Dude, that is such a good game.
I
That is
know, I
actually
know. It
that's
was
like top
always
20.
I always decided it was like I'm gonna play Edith Finch or Oberdin,
Mm.
and I want to play Oberdin before.
I was good for me. Like Edith Finch is like a top 20 game.
Yeah, I know. I know. I don't know how I skipped that game. That was crazy. That was like when I was in my pretentious phase of video games. I was like, I can play. I can play Edith Finch. Yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. Is this co-op at all?
No, single player. It has a story.
Do you know how long it would take?
The demo I think is only like an hour or two. I think so.
Fun. How'd you find this?
There's a YouTuber I like that played it, and I was like, man, this actually looks pretty cool. Then I looked more into it. I think it was Jack Sept, the guy that played this game. So yeah, the developer is David. Oh my God, how do you say the last name? We. I am so sorry if I'm butchering that. Well, I don't know, but I kind of want to check out his other game, The First Tree. People are saying that one was good.
Yeah, it looks a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of Press Reset. Another
Mm-hmm.
another episode with not a lot to talk about in gaming news.
Yeah, other than very depressing news.
Very, very depressing. Another episode of executives making just terrible,
Exactly.
terrible decisions. But
Mm-hmm.
next week is gonna be a whole lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
We got a whole lot to talk about next week. And
Right.
hopefully we'll get someone else on this. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been Press Reset. And I don't know what else to say. This has been
Aside.
Press Reset. We talked about the latest in gaming news, and we are looking forward to talking a lot about the Switch 2 coming up real quick. And next week we're going to be talking about what we're going to be playing, what we're looking forward to in our first day and week with the Switch 2, along with um, Casey's experience with Elden Ring, apparently,
Yeah, Night Rain.
along with Anthony. We'll get Anthony out on here.
We could try.
Maybe the week after. But yes, this has been Press Reset. And go ahead and leave us a like and subscribe. I am posting videos on my channel as well. This channel that we're posting on. I have a very, very important video that I'm working on that you will definitely not want to miss.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very cool, very cool. Interviewing. I did interview the director for Star Fox Adventures. So anyone that knows that game, subscribe, like, look forward to that episode. I think it's going to be worthwhile. But until then, we are absolutely going to be covering the Switch 2 religiously. We're going to be talking about it for probably months throughout the year, really. Looking forward to just the hardware and the games are going to come out within the lineup of its launch. We already know Mario Kart is coming out along with Donkey Kong Bonanza, whatever it's called. But we don't know
Mm-hmm.
what we don't know what the fall lineup is gonna be like. So that's gonna be an interesting conversation. But nonetheless, go ahead and like and subscribe and leave us a comment. Say happy birthday, Casey. He just turned 15. Leave him a birthday
20.
comment.
20.
15.
20.
Happy birthday, Casey. But
Thank you.
nonetheless, go ahead.
Sorry, my mic stand just broke.
It's my his mic brand just mic stand just broke. Whatever. Who cares? He's freehanding it right now. Who cares? This has been Press Reset. This outro has been gone on long enough.
Has.
We'll see you
Remember
next
to-
week when we talk about the Switch 2 and what we're expecting and hoping to play, and what our first week we plan on playing with the Switch 2 is going to be all about. So stay tuned to that. Tell your friends, like and subscribe. Send a like on Poogles' channel, and also follow us on Twitter at Poogles Games, and we'll talk to you.
Mhm.
This has been Press Reset, and we'll see you next week.